What's up, guys? It's Ronnie here from Broad Street Trades, and today I wanted to quickly go over inverse head and shoulders and why it's one of my favorite setups. Um, Per my understanding, for statistics reasons, that inverse head and shoulders actually works like 77% of the times, which is the most of all technical patterns such as pin hits, rising wedges, and things of that nature. And I think people have a little confusion on how to identify them and where to look for these setups. Once you get accustomed to them and once you get used to them, there's actually a thing called FinViz. I'll drop that on here real fast. FinViz, you can actually just go in here, go into the screener and go into signal and head and shoulders inverse. They actually have a lot of technicals you can look at, but this is a good place to start if you want to just play certain setups. I know people play, like to play double bottoms, people like to play double tops, things of that nature, and this is a great resource for just finding those setups that you know and love. So let's just jump right into it. So this is like a textbook example of inverse head and shoulders, but also a fake out of inverse head and shoulders. And here's why. So for those who haven't identified it, it's basically a person, like think of a head, but it's upside down. So you got your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder. Now this, you can argue that it's a shoulder. I'm saying it's not a shoulder, and I'll go over in a second. And then this is the neckline. This is the most important part of the setup, in my opinion. So what you're basically looking for is like a drop, and then like a little rally, and then like another drop, base out, and then base out again, then dropping, and then you would have had a huge rally here, and this is immediately where somebody would have called support, or it's going to the moon or whatever the case may be, and it gets stopped out right here at this neckline, and this is when everybody would have went long and they'd have got trapped. And then as you can see, second time it came to reject it, sold back off, and this is in this consolidation period. If you're playing options, you would just got theta burn. If you're playing the equity, you'd be fine, but options specifically, you would just get theta burn. So what you want to wait for is this break of this neck, and your target is always the high. This is normally your target. Your target is normally the high, like with the high before this huge drop. So how I would play this is TP1, and I would do TP2, and then if you're playing equity, you just hold the stock for some runners, or if you're playing the options, you hold a couple contracts for some runners. That would have been a bad play because you would have got theta burned all into this unless you had a lot of time. So when you see this setup forming, how you want to position yourself is you could either do it two ways. You actually could do it so when you have your left shoulder, and then once your head form, and then once you feel like your right shoulder is forming, then you can go long with your stop loss below the head, because then it would be invalidated. To me, that's the reckless way of playing this situation, because then if it does stop you out all the way down here, then you're risking so much to gain what could be probably so little if you only get like your TP1. But how I play this is I wait for the right shoulder to form, and then I'm constantly watching the stock to watch its development, and then I typically play the break of the neckline or the retest of the neckline. And what I mean by that is sometimes it can have these fake breakouts. So if I zoom in closely here, you can see fake breakout, fake breakout, fake breakout, fake breakout, pulled right back, then create another shoulder. Then you got a fake breakout, and then now you got a full actual breakout towards the upside. And this, in my opinion, is the best way. You're risking almost nothing in this situation, because if you would have played this break, your stop loss would have been below the low of that, the previous candle. You're risking a couple points here to get, this big move to the high. This big move to the high is what you're getting. So you're risking 130 to 128. So you're risking like a point and a half to get 20 points. Then also, so resistance becomes support, right? So then every time it came to touch this neckline, as you can see, you had to push forward. Touch the neckline, push forward. Then eventually selling pressure became too high, sold off. Now we have a head and shoulders opposite. Well, the actual head and shoulders, not inverse. If you guys can't see that. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So this should sell off, possibly back down here to the bottom of this shoulder right here. This is a simple setup to play. I typically don't hunt down inverse head and shoulders, but it is very, very profitable strategy. Unlike higher day breaks or lower day breaks, and or like trend lines. Trend lines are a little sketchy too because they wick you out a lot. But an inverse head and shoulders has like a 77% win rate, and you should go 2 for 1, meaning that for I actually think it's 3 for 1. So 2 for 1, 3 for 1, doesn't matter. But whatever you're risking, you should get 2 for 1 or 3 for 1 back. And this is just so that's what makes this a really, really good setup. I just think that people have a lot of confusion on how to play it. So yet again, just a recap: you don't play the left shoulder. You definitely don't play the head unless you're a god and you know the bottom is. You could play the right shoulder, the beginning of the right shoulder, prepare for your leg up. If you wanted to catch the full move, I don't recommend doing that because your stop loss is too far. I recommend trading the break of the neckline, which would be basically the top of the left shoulder, the bottom of the head. I guess this would be the bottom, and the top of the other shoulder, or the bottom, however you're looking at it, and wait for that breakout. If anybody have any questions about this setup, you could DM me. You could drop comments in the comment section below. If you'd like to join the Discord, it's in the description. Until next time, guys, take care.